Okay, so the thing we're going to be working on now is we're going to start putting these cabinets in. We got some raw, unfinished cabinets to kind of match to the cabinets we have in the kitchen already, but we're going to have a couple of uppers over here and over there, and we're going to have the base cabinets down here. They're out in the garage. I'll show you what those look like here in a minute. And these are the cabinets we're kind of trying to match here. Wouldn't be surprised if these are also just the basic kind of cabinets you can get in a big box store. But this is a custom stain. We're just going to be using just a pre-made one that's kind of close because it is going to be over there in the dining room. So, all right. And as you can see, these are the kind of raw cabinets here, unfinished, just cheapest that you can get basically. But you can see that these door panels here match kind of what we got going on inside. I mean, these are oak. I think we have ash cabinets in the kitchen, but don't have a ton of space, so can't do everything at once. So what we're going to be doing is taking all of these drawers and doors off. I'll do all the frames of the cabinets first and then start putting those cabinets inside so we can get some room back here on the table. But those are all the base cabinets that we got, and over here these will be our wall cabinets we'll put up top. So let's get to it. Alright, so that's all disassembled now. Got our pile here, but I got this top cabinet, door off, this door's off, and we are ready to just do all the frame, face frame on these. We'll probably do all these lowers, all these uppers and the face frames, then I'll come back and do the drawers and doors later. But yeah, it's easy. Now it's time to just tape it off and put some stain on. Before you start putting stain on, one thing that you'll need to do is just get up close. These are actually pretty nice, but there's a lot of times where you have gurnishes or some dents. I don't know if you can see that up here, but you know, right here, just something to get on with some 220 or 150, sand that out, just smooth it out. Also, just a nice light sanding of the same grit helps the wood to take all the stain the same way, and that's what we're going to be doing right now, is just getting some 120 150 grit on here and staining her up. Here's one that I don't know if you can see very well. Hopefully that focuses up, but you can see if you're in person here, this piece was sanded going straight down. So all there is a bunch of lines going straight down. When you're staining, you want to go sand with the grain as much as possible. Sand with the grain. That hides all the scratches. And like we're going to be putting a dark stain on here, if you have scratches, they're just going to show up. So we're going to fix all these up, sand them right, and then get some stain on. Alright, so once you've got everything sprayed, you're going to want to take something like this. This is just 0000 or 40 wire steel wool. If you notice, you can run your fingers on there. It's like a little bumpy, a little bit of, dry. So you just kind of take a quick run with this. You're not really taking anything off except any of the high points. And what that's going to do to clean it off, it gives you a nice smooth surface, gets all the high points off, smoothed out. Easy as that. All right, so kind of going fast here, but don't want to mess up too much. I have to look at them forever. So you can't see on this camera really, but sometimes when you're sanding, you'll put in like deep scratches kind of right there. You can kind of see it just sticks out. So using the random orbital sander and 150 grit, so just kind of a bummer that was there, but there's no use complaining about it or whining about it. Gonna resand these, just sand this long and slow to get these scratches out. It was on about 2 or 3 other pieces, so not too bad, but it's just gonna be a resand, restain. That way it looks nice and professional, not like some hack did it. So we're going back to sanding them down. Let's get to it. All right, so you can see looks a lot better now, and that's kind of what you're going for. So you saw how easy that was. You're taking the time to do stain anyway. Just you see those scratches, just sand it down, do it again. There's a really bad one here, like this. You could see, or not see. We'll know later, I guess. But right here, there's just these half circles. So doesn't take too long. It takes about a minute or so to sand this down and get it looking good. So don't be lazy when you're doing stain. Just stick with it, get it done, and it's going to look better, and you're going to look at it every time you walk in your house, and you're not going to regret it. So I'm going to give this a second coat. Then we're going to knock this one off as done and hit the next one. Alright, that kind of did the trick there. So they're all smoothed out now. The randomness of the sander here, that's why they call it a random orbital sander. You can't see scratches anymore on it, so just a slight 10-15 minute detour redoing those drawer fronts, but again, it's worth it, and now I won't feel terrible about myself too much. So we got the doors to do still. It's getting late tonight. I'm just gonna power through here, and hopefully the neighbors don't get too mad at me for being loud. But this way we can get it lacquered tomorrow and get them in tomorrow, and the cabinets will be done. All right, let's pump it out. These have dried out overnight. They're ready to be lacquered and sealed up. So we're gonna get to that today. You'll see what that looks like. Just try to get rid of this cloth, try to prop these things up, and how I do it is I usually do the backs first. The backs are going to be screwed against the drawers anyway, so they don't need to be as good looking and perfect, whereas the fronts are where you want to spend your time on, because people are going to see it. I mean, they're going to be out on the front of the drawers all the time. So show you what that looks like. You want to be conscious of dust and other things. The more that gets stuck on these, the more you're going to have to sand off later. I'll show you what we use to sand too. This is what I use to sand after I do my final coat. It just gives it a really nice, clean feel, smooth feel. It is what, 0000 wire wool, steel wool, whatever, fine 4-0 steel wool, whatever you want to call it, but it's just super fine, super thin, doesn't leave any marks. You just sand with the grain, or steel wool with the grain. It gets all of the raised nibs and other things off of your final coat. So I usually do one more coat on the front, and then the back ends up being like 3 or 4, and that fourth coat you just want to sand it down. Gives it a little bit more of a matte finish too, which I like, not so shiny gloss. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Let's get to it. So there we hit that with the 0000 wire wool. Nice and smooth now. And again, this is the inside of the door. It's not going to see much action at all, so this is just double coated. There's plenty of finish on here. We'll wash this off, get all this steel wool kind of off, and then this side of the door is done. So it's still, it's that simple. Yeah, make sure you hit it well. You can kind of feel. Sometimes you can feel the little nibs, little raised sections. Like this side's not done, and it just feels like a desert. Whereas this side is nice and smooth now. And definitely good enough for the inside of the cabinet too. So we'll flip this over and work on sealing this side. Okay, so this drawer doesn't, this drawer face, the way these screws are, doesn't line up with this very well, so I'm gonna just take this drill and sort of open these holes up so I can move that. That should help us move the face around so we can get these to line up better. That's what we're doing right now. Yes, sis? Do you believe?
Let's see how much minutes. So I have it and more.
Lines up a lot better now.